This is not a normal story that I would cover, but in actuality, it definitely is a dark idea. So I just want to share a few things with you, and just please bear with me. I'm going to get through this, okay? So on December 9th, 2024, Luigi Mangione was arrested 5 days after the shooting, and we would find out who this person was and why this happened. Now, before I share the story with you, I was told by a friend that Luigi killed the CEO because he would not honor the health insurance, and that his mother was on her deathbed dying of cancer, and they wouldn't honor the insurance. And I asked her, did his mother pass away? And they weren't sure. So basically, I had to look into this story. This story touched me when I first heard it because my mother and my grandmother both died in '06 and '08 of different type of cancers, just 2 years apart from each other. So I really wanted to look into it, and I'm glad that I did, because come to find out, the information that she told me was wrong, but it wasn't the first time. That's why I made sure that I looked into it. And for the past 2 days, 2.5 days, I have gathered up as much information as I can that's believed to be all true. I don't see why it's not true. Believed to be all true. So Luigi Mangione was 26 years old when this happened. He was born into wealth and prestige. He came from a prominent family. His paternal grandparents, Nicholas and Mary Mangione, were real estate developers who purchased the Turf Valley Country Club in 1978 and Hayfields Country Club in Hunt Valley in 1986. The Mangione family has different businesses throughout Baltimore: nursing homes, radio stations, just to name a few. Luigi went to elite private schools for boys, Hillman School. He was a valedictorian. He was described as quiet but well-liked, with many friends, no enemies. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania with some of the highest academic achievements. He earned a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science. According to the school, he also founded a video game development company. He did all this under 26 years old. Luigi was employed as a data engineer for TrueCar, a digital retail website for new and old cars, but he left that job last year in 2023. Luigi's friends are shocked by what he's being accused of, what he is involved in. They are still saying, quote, he is super normal, and quote, he is a smart person. Nino Mangione, that is Luigi's cousin. I decided not to add his picture, but he is a Republican state lawmaker. He said that the family is shocked and devastated by what happened. Why would someone with so much prestige and access do something like this? I can actually answer that. Just because a person may be able to afford nicer things, live in a nicer house, eat better food, and go to better places doesn't mean that they are not capable of crimes. The wealthy, the middle class, the lower class, the poor, all have different levels of what is considered a crime if they was to commit one. A drug and alcohol addict on the street, right up to people in the White House, are committing crimes. Of course, different levels of crimes, but no more or less they are committing crimes. For instance, Sean Combs, now famously known as Diddy, okay, that's what they're calling him, Diddy, is a billionaire hip-hop mogul. He right now sits in a Brooklyn prison, right now awaiting trial for things that he has done. So Luigi, he comes from, a wealthy background, but that doesn't make him incapable of committing crimes. As we see, he did just that, and one that is considered one of the worst ones. So what made Luigi, the news called it stalking, kill the chief executive, Brian Thompson of United Healthcare? The media is calling his actions an act of terrorism. According to the Economic Times, did his mother, Kathleen Zinano Mangione, have anything to do with this? Now, you know, they always have to blame the mother. We mothers are used to it by now, and, we just keep pushing along. Now, they used, some situations of when he was growing up. For instance, while he was eating his steak, he was using his left hand. And I guess he was left-handed, but that seemed to be a problem in this family. Now, pause. If you guys follow me, and if you don't follow me, I normally go to Texas to get to Atlanta. So this will take really, really quick. So I have a son. At around the time he was maybe around 2 or 3, and he was eating, and he was using his left hand. And my brother, who's like 10 years older than me, but my brother said, you can train him. You can train him to use his right hand. And I looked at him like, why would I train him to use his right hand? He said, the devil is left-handed. And that didn't bother me. Then he said, and please, I hope you're not eating right now, but he said, you wipe your ass with your left hand, and you use that same left hand to lick your fingers after you eat chicken. He actually said that. By the way, I don't lick my hands after I had eaten chicken. I don't even eat chicken really anymore. But he said that. And my baby is left-handed. I don't know what they call it, but there's people that can write equally well with both their right and their left hands, And I remember I told him I use my right hand actually to wipe my ass because I want to get a good thorough clean. That's what I said. It was stupid. I remember it. It was stupid, but that's what he said. And now I could agree with this one right here. The family's expectations grew over time, contributing to the widening rift between him and his family. He would simply say things like accepting things the way they are. That would later become a recurring theme in his life and writings. I get it. His family is very successful. We have, several generations of success in the Mangione family, and, he is carrying that name. So they just wanted him to continue. Now, looking at what he's done so far at being 26, besides the murder, what he did so far, it seems that, it was pretty good. It's pretty, outstanding, for what these children are doing now. Shit. By the time I was 26, I just had the baby. The baby. Yeah. But yeah, I think he did very well. Luigi started to distance himself from his privileged lifestyle. He cut his ties and left everyone behind, his grandparents, his parents. Supposedly, he'd been gone for a substantial amount of time. It's not clear how long he was gone. His mother had even hired a private investigator to track him down, but that was unsuccessful. The day before Luigi got arrested, Kathleen, his mother, allegedly called the police to fill out a missing persons report for her son. Some say that was probably an event to try to deflect them away, the authorities away from Luigi. I'm not sure. Kathleen says she did not know his whereabouts until his arrest. Now, on December 9th, Luigi was eating at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, when he was spotted by a worker there who called the police on him. Law enforcement called Luigi's mother with the photo of Luigi and asked her, was this your son? She did not identify Luigi as her son, but she did say, quote, this is something that I could see him doing, end quote. So Luigi was something else around that household, I see. So he was carrying a gun, a ghost gun that's untraceable. He had bullets, a silencer, multiple fake IDs, and cash, even foreign cash. So he was pretty much ready to dip, or I would think he'd be ready to dip. Now, another question that I really, would like to know is why didn't he dip? Why didn't he leave? He had enough money, he had foreign money, he could have just went anywhere, but for some reason he stayed here. Police said, be on the lookout for a light-skinned man. So I assure you that, they were looking for a light-skinned black man or even a light-skinned Puerto Rican man. I never heard of a Caucasian called light skin. I've never heard that. So they were looking for a light skinned man. I kid you not, more than likely, a black light skinned man, maybe even biracial, but still a light skinned man, okay? So he could have left, but he didn't, okay? Everyone thinks that, well, most people are saying that he probably wanted to stay. I mean, yeah, I do think he wanted to stay. He was out in the open. He didn't have no mask on. They said he was flirting with everybody in McDonald's. You see pictures of him flashing that very pretty smile. So maybe he was trying to get caught. I don't know. But no matter how smart and wealthy he is, he's still 26. He's still 26. Okay? He also had handwritten documents, that manifesto that expressed how he felt towards corporate America. Now, before I continue, let me just add, a little backstory on Luigi. So, he loved surfing, and he lived in a surfing community called Surf Break in Hawaii. He started to suffer some debilitating back pain. It was increasingly becoming hard for him to surf. Another pastime he enjoyed was hiking, volleyball, anything athletic. He clearly loved to do athletic things. He had to stop those activities. His back pain was getting worse. Some say that the extent of his own health troubles may have shaped his views on the medical industry. Perhaps. Luigi had back surgery, but he still struggled with chronic back pain and now brain fog. He started to deal with some mental health issues, down and depressed. He could not maintain his active lifestyle, relying on medication that reportedly worsened his psychological state. Luigi was so active on social media, he would do things showing his workout tips, getting fit, everything. The places that he visit, he was active on social media like these young people are. He stopped communication on social media. He stopped communication with his friends. He isolated himself, having to deal with his physical and emotional challenges alone. Luigi had a digital footprint where he shared thoughts of inspiration by a few people, and one of those was Ted Kaczynski, known as the Unabomber. Ted was another one who expressed disdain for corporate America and power. Now, I do remember Ted Kaczynski. That's when I was younger, okay, at the time, younger than Luigi, when I remember they were looking for Ted. They looked for Ted Kaczynski for 20 years. They could not find this man at all. One of my favorites is Unsolved Mysteries, where I still watch that till this day. An ex of mine said, all the mysteries have been solved, and you still watch it. Yeah, I still watch it. It puts me to sleep. Back in the day, it used to scare the shit out of me. Robert Stack with the trench coat, his voice, the way he glared into the camera, the foggy background. It scared the hell out of me. But now it puts me to bed. Sometimes it's better than NyQuil. It puts me to sleep. I like it. I love Robert Stack and Unsolved Mysteries, okay? And they would feature this black and white, I guess they call it a police sketch. They would feature that of, what this person that they nicknamed or dubbed the Unabomber. He had killed 3 people by then and injured several more. He would just go into town and send these packages off. Now, pause, you guys. I need to add this. Back in the day, Saturday Night Live, Will Ferrell used to do this skit of Ted Kaczynski, and it was hilarious. He would do like Ted on dates, Ted at bars. It was just funny. And because when we first saw images of Ted Kaczynski when he was being escorted by police, he looked like a caveman. He had the wild hair, of course he was unkept. It was nuts. And this is when, people didn't have to apologize for things that they did. And he would do this skit, and it was just hilarious. I had to add that in. Now, Ted is believed to be the modern that he was against modern technology back then, okay? And we know 20 years ago to now, technology has changed. He believed that the technology would hurt the society and the environment. And you know what, Ted? You are a little bit right on that. I would say more than halfway right. Yes, it has. I do believe it has, but it also helped tremendously. Tremendously. There's not many people like back in 30 years ago, or better, you couldn't just, get online and talk to somebody in South Africa or Brazil. You just couldn't do it. So, I mean, it's cool the way that that's happening. You have to, everyone knows when you get on social media, you have to take it with a little grace. You do. It should be like viewer discretion if you get on here, warning. It should. And people know this, but this is how Ted felt. He felt like this so bad that, he protested by bombing people. And he was found in a cabin in Montana. He was arrested on April 3rd, 1996. And they found his Unabomber manifesto. Okay, I looked into Ted since I was talking about him. Ted would later be diagnosed with rectal cancer. And he ended up, passing away in prison. He actually died on my birthday, June 10th, 2023. He died last year, and I don't remember hearing anything about it. He died in Butner, North Carolina, but he did not die of his cancer. I can't say on here how he died, but I'll just say he ended it all. After being in prison and reaching the age of 81 years old, being in prison for 27 years, he just didn't want to be there anymore. And I found this picture right here of Ted Kaczynski. And I must say, the Unabomber cleaned up nicely. He really did. He reminds me of, the older white men that try to flirt with you when you're in the sporting goods aisle in Walmart. I mean, he cleaned up nicely, but Ted is no longer here. And this was, somebody that Luigi, one of the people that Luigi was, I can't say looked up to, I'm going to say fascinated by, okay? So according to Law Enforcement Bulletin, Luigi was motivated by resentment, and he called the healthcare insurance parasites. And he said that they had it coming, saying that the U.S. has the most highest healthcare in the world. That's probably true. And our country is 42 in the world with life expectancy. That's what he said. So Luigi was really feeling some type of way about this. He basically said that, health insurance companies and health insurance companies and health insurance industries on a whole is just greedy. And so many people have died under the care, or I should say under the non-care of, health insurance in America. And in some situations, I think a lot of people, as we see on social media with how people feel towards Luigi, a lot of people have had bad experiences with healthcare. I read up on it really quickly. 1 in 5 Americans have been denied in 2023 for, their healthcare insurance. Whether they put money into it or they got it through work, they have been denied, which is horrible. They said 8% of people aren't insured. It's an average of, the younger people under 25, they're not insured. And they said, the people with lower poverty, of course, they're not insured. They're trying to get something to eat, So I can understand that. But that was some of the statistics that I read about that. And my own experiences really quickly. This was years ago. I was going to marry a military man. Basically, he said he can get extra money for being married and I could be on his health insurance. I was actually going to do that. And, another situation, that's it. Yeah, health insurance, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get it. Right now, I'm in a situation where I do have health insurance and I actually have United Care. That's another reason why I wanted to look into this story. I do have United Care, and and I don't like my job. I cannot stand my job. And if I go to another job, if I get another job, I have to make sure that they have insurance. And I have to make sure that there's not a grace period before they decide to keep me on. And I know when you do sign up for insurance, is usually like in the end of November, December, and you need to have it by January 1st. So yeah, I have my own. I have my own insurance stories very much. Investigators say deny, defend, and depose were written on shell casings found at the scene where Brian Thompson, the CEO, was murdered. Law enforcement sources say that this may be a reference to the 3Ds of the health insurance, which are tactics used by companies to reject payment claims by patients: deny, defend, depose. Luigi has been charged with murder, using a weapon with a silencer, 2 counts of stalking, in addition to 11 state charges filed by Manhattan District Attorney. He's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. His preliminary hearing is set for January 18th, 2025, and I believe he is housed with Sean Combs. I will tell you, there is going to be a movie. Not just a Netflix movie, but a movie with a big budget. Why not? Ted Kaczynski has several movies, documentaries. There is going to be a movie about Luigi. It is. I mean, it has everything that Hollywood wants. First, the nation divided. He's a murderer. No, 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 he's a martyr. You see? He's young, he's very attractive, he's athletic, he's wealthy, he's a smart man. He could have did anything with his life, but he did this. And the number one thing that everyone loves to keep talking about besides the murder is he prefers to be intimate with black men. So yes, they're saying he is gay, if not at least bisexual. And I mean that they had to throw that in there. But yeah, they had to throw the salaciousness in it. They have to, So trust me, there's going to be a big budget movie. I can definitely see that. I just want to know who's going to play Luigi. But it's going to definitely be a big budget movie. Mangione, that's what they'll probably call it. Mangione. But yeah, it's going to be one. And I'm going to go and I'm going to check that movie out when there is one. There's a movie out. I can't remember all this, but I saw little clips of it. Some man is portraying Superman, I think, and they say that he either looks like Luigi or he was posed the same way as Luigi was, with all the New York police around him. And they called that the perp walk, and they said that walk right there may have been why America has been on this story the way that they are. That's what they said. So what I've read and heard about this case, it's amazing. And people are demanding that Luigi be free. Someone actually said, and I should have actually screen recorded, he actually said, "Free Luigi. Who cares about the CEO, Brian Thompson? The only one that will miss him is his wife, children, and a few friends." I mean, that was really terrible to say about this man. I am going to do a little bit of reading up on Brian Thompson, because all I know is that he is a CEO of United Healthcare, or he was the CEO. That's all I know. A lot of people are saying he's this and that, throwing him under the bus, but I will check into that and see a little bit more in due time. A GoFundMe was canceled, topping over $100,000 for Luigi's defense. So yeah, they're on it. They're on it. There's actually another fundraiser called Give, Send, Go that people have already been donating to. I think it's over $80,000 now. So they are really donating to his lawyer, to his defense. If this goes to trial, a jury can find him not guilty. It's that simple. And he will walk. That's it. And he will walk. And everybody has had some type of, most people, I'm going to say, have had some type of where they can't get insurance, or they perhaps been denied. So a lot of people want him free, and in that same breath, a lot of people are saying no. He's a murderer. He shouldn't be free. A lot of people are saying he is eligible for the death penalty, and there is no death penalty in New York. So I don't know why a lot of people keep saying that. And according to New York police, Luigi was not even a United Health insurer. And his mother, to my knowledge, did not pass away of cancer. So she is still alive. So there's a lot of people just putting stuff out there, and we already know that's going to happen. But those two things are not true. It hasn't even been 2 weeks, and so much has happened. And of course, I intend to follow this story out as well. And please, 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 I would like you to leave a comment if maybe I said something slightly wrong or you like to add to what I said. Because like I said, I am following this story and I want to know as much as I could possibly know. But please do it respectfully. I'm going to put like a slight moderation on it. I guess that's what you call it. But I will approve the comments. Just be respectful. For those of you who haven't been to my channel, like your mother said, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I just feel, you can be respectful to people. And people are not being respectful when it comes right now to this story. People always find stuff. We call them trolls, but people always find stuff to go and argue with on platforms and just put their crazy views out there. You can do that, but not here. I like a nice, peaceful, quiet channel, if you will. So respectfully, please, leave your comment if you like for me. And I need to remind people that Obama, he has nothing to do with the murder of Brian Thompson. I assure you he doesn't. I've seen that in a few comments. He doesn't. As much as the media have been trying to put a black person in this story, okay? They were looking for a black person initially, a light-skinned one. Then they find out Luigi, who I believe is Italian. Sometimes Italian people don't consider themselves white, but that's a whole other story. They were looking for Italian. That's why I didn't say, Caucasian. I do have some old school Italians in my family back in New York, and they didn't consider themselves white, okay? And if you guys have a problem with that, you get in touch with them. They didn't. They considered themselves Italian, and they tried to put a black person, okay, that's what this Italian guy or this Caucasian guy, that's what he prefers, black men. And when that failed, they brought Obama in. So let's just be easy with that. Let's not bring Obama into this story. But I would like to know, are you for Luigi? Do you believe that he should be, released from prison, exonerated from what has happened? Or do you believe he's a cold-blooded killer and he should not have done that? He devastated some people. This man has a wife and I think and children. I don't know. Like I said, I have to look into it, and I will. And I will, most definitely. Most definitely. Luigi Mangione, he's pleading not guilty. Not guilty for this crime.